Hey there, Amplifiers. Manny Torres here, and I'm excited to have you with us for another episode of Small Business Spotlight. Today, I'm joined by Eli Clark. Eli is the CEO of OneBridge Accounting. OneBridge is a modern tax accounting and bookkeeping firm. They specialize in working with marketing firms and other creative agencies to remove manual financial processes. Eli is a husband, soon-to-be father, a world traveler, a recreational runner, and a professional accountant. His passion is helping businesses understand their finances so that they can grow profitably. Welcome to the show, Eli.
Thank you, Manny. Appreciate it. Glad to be here.
I'm excited to chat with you. Obviously, you've got a lot going on, and I'd love to know what inspires you to do what you do.
Yeah, I think it comes down to probably a little bit of OCD mixed within a little bit of just a desire to help people, kind of leaning into both of those things. But I think the thing that motivates me is to be able to take a business wherever they're at in their journey, whatever they're trying to accomplish, and say, how can we make this better? How can we improve this? How can we make it more organized? How can we streamline processes, streamline resources? I love doing that. To me, that's a lot of fun. And it's motivating to see the progress from point A to point B. I think that's really cool.
I'm glad that you enjoy doing those things because those are definitely not my strong suit. But
Yeah.
that's what makes business great, because you see a challenge that businesses have and you're able to answer that. In the intro, I mentioned that you work with marketing firms. Can you tell me a little bit about why it is that you chose to work with marketing firms?
Yeah. So I used to work with a creative agency before I started OneBridge Accounting. So we did VFX, animation, that kind of stuff, primarily for TV. So got a Hollywood style audience, right? A lot of our clients in California and things. And I saw this gap in the creative space where you've got really creative, very talented individuals. Maybe you're working in VFX, you're working in publishing, you're working in marketing, and that's your wheelhouse, right? That's your area of expertise, is kind of that creative space. And I found that there was this gap on the financial side. So I came in as a project manager, CFO, managing director type of role. So when you're working for a small company, you wear a lot of hats, right? Anyway, so I came into this role there, and I saw that there was a huge need for services to help organize what was going on in the business, especially on the financial side of things. So my dad runs a marketing firm. My wife is a graphic designer. So I'm surrounded by creative people all the time. I try to be a little bit creative, but I would say I'm a little bit more organized than creative. Not that those are opposing traits at all, but I do find that in general, the marketing firms that we work with love it when me and my team can come in and we can help organize what's going on and just pass that off to us, because they would much rather spend time doing SEO or spend a lot more time building creative assets or videos or that kind of thing. So that was part of the inspiration. Is I started or was working in a creative space. My family is creative people, and I felt like there was a gap in the services that were offered to those types of industries.
I can completely relate. Obviously, I'm in marketing. We've had our agency since back in 2013, and we've gone through some of the different iterations where you have challenges. And as we started to learn some of those things about our own finances, what we started to notice working with other businesses is that they also didn't have that understanding of their numbers and the
Right.
financial knowledge that they needed to really be successful. And that's why we started connecting with experts like yourself. In terms of the marketing firms that you work with, what are the top challenges that you see that they have commonly?
I would say disorganization is number one, right? Because a lot of marketing firms are starting out. Usually it's a solopreneur or it's a business of one type of situation where maybe you've got a technical background in SEO or maybe videography or web design, whatever that is. And you've been successful, right? You're growing and you've got sales that are going on, and you're focused in on the fulfillment side. You're building websites, you're implementing SEO techniques, you're doing backlinks, all that kind of stuff, right? And there's a certain point where a lot of that just catches up to you. It's February 28th or it's March or it's April or whatever. And you're like, oh, shoot, I got to pay taxes, or I don't have money to pay taxes, or oh, I don't know if I'm profitable or not. So I would say the number one thing is disorganization. So coming in, setting up systems, setting up processes, and really kind of serving as the kind of guide, if you will, for the accounting and the financial side of things. I would say the second struggle that we see is compliance. So that could be tax related. It often is tax related, but like paying your taxes on time or paying your quarterly taxes or payroll management. So you got payroll taxes, or if you're an S corp, for example, you're supposed to pay yourself payroll or you're supposed to pay your quarterly taxes. That's another thing I think that we bring a lot of peace towards, a lot of peace of mind around, is the compliance, especially currently right now. There's a lot of changes that are going on and a lot of unknowns, right? What we do 100% of the time is try and understand what is going to help our clients the most from a compliance perspective and what's going to help them to manage risk in their business. So number one, disorganization. And I would say number two is compliance, just helping people to stay straight as an arrow or as much as they can while they're operating their business. So those are the two things I would say.
Again, I can completely relate to that, both internally with how we work with our own business, but also in the ways that we help our clients. We're always
Right.
looking for how do we systemize things in a way that you can scale. And we ask the question, if you onboarded 10, 20, 30, 50
Mm-hmm.
new clients at this time, would you be able to fulfill on that? So I
Definitely.
can definitely see
Yeah.
how on the accounting side, that would be important for that marketing firm owner. What's an actionable step, maybe like a first step that they could take to get on that journey? Obviously, they really should be working with someone like you because it's not their warehouse. They really should be working
Yeah.
on the things that are bring them the most value. But what's one step that they could take to help them get those systems in place?
Yeah, I think what you're saying, Manny, like there are times when, depending on the size of your business or kind of where you're at in your life cycle of the business, it doesn't always make sense to bring on somebody full time. And that's what we do. We do fractional accounting services so people can get the assistance and the help that they need without needing to hire a full-time accountant or full-time CFO. I would say there's a couple of things, low-hanging fruit that I would recommend. The first one that comes to mind is looking at your invoicing process. There's a lot of times when a client will come on to us and they're swamped. They've got a lot going on. They've got a SEO for 50 clients that they're doing themselves. Maybe they've got some virtual assistants that are helping them, or maybe some other SEO guys. But there's a lot of times we'll dive into the invoicing, we'll streamline that for them. And what I mean by streamlining is we'll set up reoccurring payments. So if somebody's paying you $1,600 a month or $1,200 a month or whatever your SEO package is, whatever they're paying you, instead of sending a manual invoice every single month, we'll set up a reoccurring invoice so it's billed to their credit card automatically. So that's one thing I would say. Set up recurring invoices for what you can, depending on the types of services that you have. Automating reminders for invoices. So you use a software like QuickBooks or Bill.com, and they'll set up automatic texting and email reminders if you want to use that. And that's really helpful to help you get paid on time. And then a third component of that is actually know if you're getting paid or not. Follow through, because there's a lot of times where I'll work with a firm that will come on with us and they're swamped again. They're doing a lot of work. And we come to find out there's 5 to 7 clients that haven't been paying them for a couple of months, and they're doing the work for those clients. And I think most of the time it's not a dishonesty thing. Those clients aren't trying to be dishonest and not pay, but they just have totally forgotten because they're running their own business as well. So that's the nice thing where we can come in and we could say, hey, you're missing 5 clients. Or you're not billing 5 of your clients. That's 5 to 10, depending on $5,000 to $10,000 you're leaving on the table each month, depending on what's going on or how you're pricing your services. So invoicing is one that I would really dive into, because that's cash flow is what's going to build your business. That's what keeps things moving. That's how you pay everybody. That's how you pay your software and your expenses and everything. So really diving into your invoicing, I think, is a low hanging fruit thing that a lot of marketing firms can do really quickly. It only takes a couple hours to take a look at what's going on that side of things. And then I would say the second thing or second tip besides invoicing would be to look at your expenses. We do a really thorough audit when we bring on a new client, and we get a really solid understanding of where's money going, how is it being spent, right? For marketing firms, payroll is usually a big one. Whether you're using overseas talent or you're using domestic talent, payroll is usually a big thing. But I find that a lot of marketing firms are spending money that they don't know that they're spending, right? It's money that's going to subscriptions or to software that they tried out 6 months ago and it's still billing $100 or $200 a month. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but if you find 10 of those, that's $1,000 a month that you're not making in profit, right? So those two things, how is your money coming in and then how is your money going out? I would take a look at both of those.
I think those are great tips. And if you've already sold something, obviously you want to make sure that you're getting paid for that. That helps
Yeah.
out with cash flow. You can start to make decisions moving forward. So I think that's really smart to be able to do that on that front end. And that's a great first step. And likewise with the expenses, I know most people are like me, especially in marketing, where it's like they want to try all these new tools. And then next thing you
Right. Yeah.
notice, you've been using it for 8 months or paying for it for 8 months and have never used it. So I like those
Totally.
tips. And if you're a marketing firm owner out there, go ahead and implement those and then reach out to Eli so he can help take you the next step further. Eli, we're big fans at Growth Amplifiers of finding ways to continue to learn, to grow and excel and
Mhm.
optimize what we do. Do you have a favorite book or podcast or event that you is your go-to resource to continue to learn and grow?
I wouldn't say one. I think a lot of what I do is consuming information, one on the compliance side, making sure that we're compliant, but also improving my business. So I'm subscribed to a number of newsletters that I try and read, not every week, but I do try and read on a regular basis. I read a lot of books. One that just comes to mind right now, Atomic Habits by James Clear, great book. Would recommend that. Just about making small little changes to your life and to your business. That's a great book. That'd be one recommendation. I think there's a lot of great people out there who have a lot to say about how to improve your business, how to make changes. I like Alex Hormozy. I like to watch his videos. I think he's really good. Take everything with a grain of salt, with everything, no matter where it comes from, and think about how it applies to you. But yeah, I would say YouTube is a great one. I'm a huge fan of HubSpot. I think HubSpot's got a ton of great content out there on the marketing side of things. And then I'll just plug OneBridge Accounting because we make a lot of content as well around finance and stuff. There's a couple of things, couple sources of where I do a lot of my learning, and it takes up a good part of my day, just trying to make sure that I'm on top of what's going on in the industry and what's going on in the world because it changes very fast.
I like that. And the fact that you enjoy digging into those compliance updates, again, that's something
Yeah.
I have no urge to do. So the fact that you're able to do that, and then I have seen your video reels where you're starting to break those things down for marketing agencies and other business owners. So
Right.
that helps take that information that you've researched and distill it down for other people. So I think that's a great service that you're providing. Eli, if someone wants to connect with you, maybe they've started to scratch the surface, they've started to get their invoices under wraps and they're starting to look at their expenses, but they realize I'd much rather have someone come in here and help us out and be that fractional
Right.
CFO for our business and organization. What's the best way that they can connect with you?
Yeah. You can text or call me directly. We're a small team. I'm not unreachable. You can text or call me. My number is 801-448-6434. If you prefer email, it's Eli.Clark, CLARK at onebridgeaccounting.com. And then you can also check out our website, onebridgeaccounting.com. We've got a lot of great blog posts. We're rolling out a webinar series this year. We've got webinars going out about every 2 weeks. And there's a lot of really great things on that website as well. If you're wanting to learn a little bit more about compliance on the tax side, or if you want to learn a bit more about how to organize your finances, we've got ebooks on there. We've got one pagers. We've got all sorts of content, really trying to help deliver value. Text me, call me, email me, or check out the website.
Thank you so much, Eli. If you're a marketing firm owner out there, make sure you check out OneBridge Accounting. They've got great resources on the site and it looks great. A lovely color. You're definitely standing out from the other accounting and bookkeeping companies. It's nice to see an accounting company with some branding behind it. So good job on that. Make sure that you check out Eli, connect
Thank
with
you.
him so he can help you with your finances. Thanks so much for being here, Eli.
Thanks, man. You really appreciate it.
To show your support, take a moment to amplify this message by sharing it online. To connect with me or gain more business growth insights, visit www.growthamplifiers.com. Thank you for your support.